Shalom. First, I want to say, call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak, Wadash, double understand the apostles, the great millstone, rule well, off this knowledge. And salutations to you, fellow laborers, who work week in, week out. Shalom to you, and shalom to the few aquaf that believe as well. Back at you with another video, and this from FoxNews.com. And this actually was published not long ago, about 4 or 5 days ago. It was published March the 2nd, 2023. I believe it's March the 7th today. So this was just published, and it's surrounding the MO. It's surrounded by the subject matter of the MOTB, and of course that's a major prophecy that we're looking for. And I just find it interesting that there are more and more videos, because I was doing a little research, and there was a number of news clips and articles that was published this year alone on the MOTB. All right, some of them were just straight up fresh, like this one, like just was published, And this is one of the things that's going to, I'll say this is one of the prophecies, right? That, if you're not warned about it, all right, because the scriptures speak about, the Lord said, warn his people, all right, give them warning from me. If you're not warned about this MOTB, all right, you can be led, to receiving it and being destroyed, because that's the judgment for receiving the MOTB, all right, which is the charagma, all right, which is this, RFID CHIP, okay. So, and then, through the spirit, I was meditating upon, I just watched the video that the Elder Malcolm of the Chicago, and really the elder of this region, but he had published a video some days back with Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, and was making mention of the same subject, right? Dogs getting chipped. And here it is on FoxNews.com, all right? Which Fox News is a major mainstream media news outlet, right? So this can be seen by the masses, right? So without any further ado, I'm going to play the clip. It's about 1:16 long. I'm going to let it play. Excuse me. And Lord willing, this video is edifying.
Dogs get chipped, but what about people? I'm Crypto Cyber Guy, and it's standard operating procedure to chip our pets so we can always keep track of them in case of an emergency or they get lost. Now, back in 1998, a chip was first implanted into a human being, and in the past decade, the technology has become more commercially available. A Las Vegas influencer has even garnered millions of followers online after revealing she has a chip implanted in her hand, and she uses it to open doors and drawers around her gigantic house. She has a radio frequency identification implant, or RFID chip, which is one of the various types of microchip implants available in the market. Now, while they're available, it's extremely important to note that having a medical procedure to implant a chip in one's body should only be done by a qualified professional, if at all. You can imagine the idea of microchips being implanted into humans raises ethical and privacy concerns. Think about it. Some of these chips are basically collecting and storing personal information that could potentially be accessed without consent. Would you ever consider a microchip implant? Let me know your thoughts about it over at cyberguy.com. And while you're there, sign up for my free newsletter on the market. And while they're available.
So, as you can see, it showed the lady in the video, the Edomite lady, and they're making it fashionable, See, this article was about dogs, but they just gradually showing you that, they're getting ready to try and put it in you. This is the reason for them showing this lady in this video. All right. And the way they push it on the masses is by making it, seem like it's a necessary thing that you need in your life to enhance it or make it better. And that's That's the way Esau works. This is his mindset, right? So this is Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 12. It says, a prudent man perceiveth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished, right? Because when you move with prudence, like the scriptures say, that we're supposed to be circumspect, okay? We're supposed to be circumspect as men of the Lord, all right, believers in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We're supposed to be circumspect to what's all around us, okay? Because these days are truly evil, okay? This is Ephesians 5 and 15. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. And it's going to get more increasingly evil as the days go on, because we live in the time of the fall of Babylon the Great, which is so-called America. And you notice things are just been getting more evil, okay, since the so-called New Year of Esau. All right, there's been so many acts of violence, shootings, mass shootings, okay, disasters, created or natural, right? So things are getting more evil and more evil. This is not something that just to look over as if this is a small matter. Okay, this is not a small matter, and this is something that they actually want to do, which is put that that C-hip in you. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, it says, "Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." And that's one of his devices. He wants you to be chipped. Okay, and we know that according to the scriptures, all right, according to the Heavenly Father, we should not be lining up to get that, because again, when you go into the scriptures, that's the M-A-R-K, all right. When you go in the book of Revelation 13, 14, when it speaks about the M-A-R-K, those that receive it should be thrown into the lake of fire. All right. So it's not something you want to do, because you will be destroyed. Okay. And Esau, like it says in Genesis 25, and it was at verse 27, he's a cunning hunter. The word cunning means deceitful. All right. The word devil means deceiver. All right. Deceitful and deceiver go hand in hand. That's just pretty much the same thing. Esau is a deceiver. And that's why we call him a devil. All right. Which means deceiver. All right. They deceive you to thinking that getting that device is okay. But it's not okay with the Heavenly Father. There's a judgment for that. Okay. Now, let me grab this other precept. This is the book of Job, chapter 15 and 31. It says, let not him that is deceived trust in vanity, for vanity shall be his recompense. And when you go into vanity, it speaks about falsehoods and pretty much. Let me see. Let me go to it. All right. And it goes back to the Hebrew word shawah. It says emptiness, vanity, falsehood. Yeah, emptiness, nothingness, vanity, emptiness of speech, lying. Right? You trust in someone that's lying to you, whether it's Esau, or even if it's your leaders that you follow. Right? You could be in the camp that's teaching you that the MOTB is something else, and it's not. It's undeniably this device. All right, in this video. See, so let me read some of the article. It says many of us have our dogs microchipped as soon as we get them, so that we have an increased chance of reuniting with them if they get lost. It allows for quick and easy identification and gives us peace of mind. Which that's not true. It's not true. Maybe to a few, some of these Edomites, but Jake don't take that seriously, man. If you find them, you find them. If you don't, you don't. It's not the end of having a pet. You simply just get another one, right? At least you find, the one that was lost. It says, well, now some of your fellow humans are opting to be chipped as well, so that they can have more convenience when it comes to paying for things, opening doors, and more. See? I thought it was all about the dogs. No, it's about putting it inside the human body. All right? And people. All right? And they're showing you, man. They're showing you how. Okay? And they're pushing that convenience. That it is a convenience, right? They push that into your mind. All right? It says, can a human really be microchipped safely? We can certainly have microchips implanted into our bodies, such as radio frequency identification or RFID implants, which are used for identification and tracking purposes. See, I'm going to track you. Right? You become the pet. Same thing they use for the pet, to track the pet, same thing going to track you. And but wait, there's more. You can open your fridge. You can open your drawer. You can open your cabinets. You can start your vehicle. Excuse me. You can open the door of your home. You can log into your computer. You can log into work. Yeah, you can log in your working hours by simply flashing your chip. This is the way they're pushing it on you. And I'm just going to say this: a lot of people in so-called America, they believe in stupid shit like that, including Israelites, man. They believe in stupid shit like that. Oh yeah, and you know how they always use celebrities. These people that's in the public, these public figures they use to push what they want to push on the people. Your favorite stars, whether acting or athletes, right? They push it using them because they're nothing but puppets and pawn, and puns, yeah, and puns used for the elites to push their agenda. Just however, before deciding on microchipping yourself, it is important to remember that implanting the microchip into your body is a medical procedure that carries potential risks and should only be performed by a qualified professional in a sterile environment. Well, I won't agree with that because there's plenty of videos, and you can Google, YouTube, whatever. Same thing. Google owns YouTube. You see people just going into an office and they're using the syringe to put it into their hands or wherever they want it at. Okay. So just going into an office, laying your hand on the desk, don't seem so sterile to me. But hey, it says, and it gives a link to. I believe that's a link. Let me see. That's a link you can go to. That involves the risk, right? I should click on it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna click on it real quick. It says, additionally, the use of microchip implants raises ethical and privacy concerns, as it involves the collection and storage of personal information that could potentially be accessed without your consent. Well, you don't even have privacy already, so let that marinate. What privacy do you really have? Eric Snowden exposed that a while ago, years ago. He and Julian Assange, Well, let me click on this link real quick. Let's check this out. Oh, let me see. Well, it gives other other it gives other articles, but I thought it might have some Salaki. It says, who is getting these microchips? The first time a microchip was implanted into a person was back in 1998. Since then, the technology has become readily available to all commercially. And one company in the UK called Walletmore says that it became the first company to offer them for sale. So it's pretty much it's going to the same thing the video speaking about. Pretty much. Oh yeah, let's get this one right here. It's pretty much the same thing that was spoken about in the video. Let's see what this part says. It says, can microchips really track people? It is understandable why you might be worried about microchips being able to track humans, as they use the same type of technology that we already use in our phones and credit cards. True. Right, this phone that we use, all right, this smartphone, they don't call it a smartphone for a reason. I mean, they don't call it a smartphone for no reason, right? It's used to spy on you. According to many whistleblowers, which whistleblowers are someone that spills the truth over into the public. Okay, they make it sound like a whistleblower is a bad person, but really that person has spilled over the truth of something that's going on behind closed doors to the public. But they're looked down upon and demonized. It says, however, microchips are not GPS devices and cannot track the location of an animal, which that's a lie, because the radio frequency waves transmit to satellites. If you can access your different things by waving your hand, right, and it spoke about the cloud. In the video, it spoke about the cloud. Radio frequency waves can travel far, all right. And with satellite imagery, I forget what is that. Satellite imagery, satellite capability makes it, trackable at a high level. Because think about it, right? They mentioned your phones, right, just a moment ago, right? So if they already using the phones, credit cards with phones, when you got your location on and you on Google tell you exactly where you at. So, GPS is part of your phone. See? But anyways, let me bring out a couple more precepts. And I definitely want to bring out this prophecy. Because like I said, you're gonna have people that are gonna really be deceived and receive that device. And that's your own fault, And really, the Most High, right, has a judgment for 2/3 of our people anyway. So you got to keep that in mind. Job 12:16, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So if you be deceived into getting this device, all right, you and the person that deceived you, all right, that was set up by the Most High for you to be deceived, because the Most High wants to judge you for whatever reason, all right, that you've done, because we all have our iniquities, right? But the elect iniquities or sins will be looked over. All right, they'll be forgiven in the day of wrath, right? But 2/3 won't. That's why 2/3 have to come back in the kingdom as babes. All right, there's an election. All right, there's a total of 1/3 of us Israelites are going to be saved. Lord willing, I'm part of that number. But the rest will perish on this side and come back in the kingdom. So there's a lot of our people that won't make it. The majority. All right, there's not it's a 2/3 scripture for a reason. Okay, you think about how we warn our people from just warn them about things that are to come according to prophecy. They look at us, they laugh at us, they scoff and scorn at us, so they don't believe, right? The scriptures speak about Are people dying because of incredulity or unbelief, right? And it's just simply what it is. Revelation 13 and 16, here's the prophecy, right? And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So, I've done this before. We look up the word mark, look up the words and go back to the Greek word charagma, right? When you look up charagma, you dig deep for it, right? By using etymology of words, going to the dictionary, it show you that the word implant goes hand in hand with that, right? Now, the root word imprint, when you look it up and define it on Google, right? When you look at it, right, it says stamp, punch, print, impress, mark, engrave, deboss, etch, emboss. You go right here. Well, let's stretch this out real quick for one. It says Latin, into, to press, or to press into, right? Where's the other one that we got the synonyms? Okay, here we go, right here. I believe. Right here, yeah, con. If you notice, it says similar to fix, establish, stick, lodge, implant, embed, stamp, impress, etch, engrave, print. So what are they gonna implant or embed in you? That device. Okay? It's not no Christianity, it's not no embargo, right? Guys want you to believe that in Israel. You have, and I'm gonna just name one, IUIC. They don't believe the MOTB is the electronic tag that I'm, showing in this video. They think it's something else. When there's overwhelming evidence that that electronic tag is the MOTB. Okay, that's what the scriptures speak about when it speaks about the hour of temptation that shall come upon all the world. Because when that device is made mandatory to get or to receive, hey, you're going to see a lot of people being persecuted into getting it. Or because they won't receive it, which the elect won't receive it, right? And you're going to have people being put to death because they won't receive it, right? That's the reason why those days, let me get that real quick. Those days are going to be shortened. Let me get that. Just the book of Matthew 24 and 22. It says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, because when this man moves down upon the people, he's going to move down swiftly, right? Doesn't it say that in Revelation 12 and 12? Let's get that. Revelation 12 and 12, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. So Esau know he got a short time to, to push his agenda. So he's going to act swiftly. He's going to act real fast, man. All right. They got posts set up with his troops. All right. Just like they had it set up, when you was seeing people line up to get, you know what I'm talking about, brothers. You line up, get that, that itch. okay? Which I can't say, you know, because of shadow banning, right? But it was lined up to get, you know, they was lined up, getting their jump shot on, you know. So, and you brothers know what I mean by, getting their jump shot on. All right. Same way they had that going on, you literally seen troops. I seen troops, like literal soldiers, full uniform and armed at these different sites where people was getting, their jump shot on. Okay. So this is something that's not, this is something that's not, that's not noticeable. All right. It's something that's not noticeable. All right. To men that believe in Yahweh Shem Shah. No, we notice this because, again, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. And we know Satan comes in the physical form of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. So with that, I want to say, Lord willing, you have been edified. Until next time, I want to say shalom.